Shalom, good morning.
Shalom, Boker Tov.
Boker Tov. Welcome. We're going to begin a new Torah portion today. It's called Vayishlach. Okay, and so we've been reading about Yaakov and when he goes with Laban and work for him. He said that he's been with him for 20 years. So now he left Laban. Laban chased after him, but they came to an agreement to have peace between them. So now Jacob is free from Laban, free to go. But the problem that he had with his brother continues. So the reason he left to go live with Laban, that problem continues. And that's what we're going to read about today, when the two brothers face each other, encounter each other, and actually the two twins, right? And one twin. So we are going to be reading in Beresheet chapter 32 from the beginning and chapter 33. So let's go ahead and say the blessing. Again, that's Beresheet chapter 32. Okay, so let's say the blessing together.
Baruch
Yahweh Hamborah.
Baruch Yahweh Hamborah Leolam Bae. Baruch Ata Yahweh Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bahar Banu Mikol Hamim Banata Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Ata Yahweh Noten HaTorah. Amen.
Okay. So, Beresheet chapter 32. So actually the first two verses were part of the last Parshah, but we didn't read them. But that's okay, because I think it goes better with this portion. So we'll go ahead and listen to them. I'm going to share my screen so you can see. Okay. Let me fix that. Okay, now you'll be able to see it. Okay, and let's hear the audio on this. So, chapter 32, verses 1 and 2. There we go.
ויעקב הלך לדרכו, ויפגעו בו מלאכי אלוהים. ויאמר יעקב כאשר רעם מחנה אלוהים זה, ויקרא שם המקום ההוא מחניים.
Okay. And Jacob went on his way, and messengers of Elohim met him. And when Jacob saw them, he said, "This is the camp of Elohim." And he called the name of the place Machanaim. Okay. So it says here in the Hebrew, you can say Malachi, meaning messengers, meaning angels, Malachim of Elohim. Okay, and it says that they met him. But here it's kind of like they importuned him. So he's going on his way and he comes across Malachim. So when Jacob sees them, he says, "This is the Manache of Elohim," an encampment or an army. This is the host of Elohim. It is the army of Elohim. And then he calls the place Machanaim. So it means a double camp. Dual camp. That's interesting why he called it two camps. So this is the camp of Elohim, and he calls the place two camps, two armies. So I think that's very interesting, something to look into. Let's go to verse 3. Let's go to verse 3. Oh, sorry. Let me open the audio.
פרשת וישלח. וישלח יעקב מלאכים לפניו אל עשיו אחיו, ארצה שעיר שדרי אדום, ויצב אותם לאמור, כה תאמרון לאדוני לעשיו, כה אמר עבדך יעקב, עם לבן גרתי, ואיחר עד עסקה. ויהי לי שור וחמור, צאן ועבד ושפחה, ואשלחה להגיד לאדוני, למצוא חן בעיניך.
So that was verse 3 through 5. I did a little bit longer because they go together. So verse 3 through 5. And he himself passed over before them and bowed himself to the ground 7 times. Oh, sorry, I'm reading chapter 33. Okay, chapter 32. Verse 3 through 5. And Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau his brother in the land of Seir, the field of Edom. And he commanded them, saying, Say this to my master Esau, your servant Jacob said this, I have sojourned with Laban and stayed there until now, and I have bulls and donkeys, flocks, and male and female servants, and I have sent to inform my master to find favor in your eyes. Okay, so this is where we get the name of the Parashah Vayishlach, right here.
Which means sent.
Exactly, thank you. Which Vayishlach, which means sent. Okay, and I think it's interesting because I always thought that Jacob received the news that about his brother coming towards him, and then he sent messengers to him. But this is actually the other way around. So he comes across the messengers, the Malachim, and then he asks them to go to his brother Esau. And then we'll see how his brother Esau responds by coming against him with 400 armed people. But
so he's planning a war.
But right, but here the point is first he is initiating by sending the Malachim. So he comes across Malachim, right, the camp of Yahweh, and then he sends them Vayishlach to his brother Esau. Okay, and it says to the land of Seir. And Seir, this means rough. And then it says the field of Edom. So I wonder if this is property that belongs to Esau. So he's going to come into his land, into his property maybe, and that is why he is sending messengers ahead of him. I think that's something to look into. Okay, and then it says, and he commanded them, right? Vayitza, he's commanding the angels. That's the way it's translated sometimes, like he's commanding them, but really, this word can also mean to like appoint, to entrust them with a task. So it's not really like bossing them around, but just kind of like entrusting them to do something for him. Okay. And the message that he sent to him is that, you know, I'm your servant. I have been with Laban, and now I have ox and donkeys and servants. In the Hebrew, these animals, he actually puts them in singular. Like if he's saying, I have one ox, I have one donkey. So, and I think maybe he's trying to kind of suggest that, oh, you know, don't be jealous of me. What I have is not that big of a deal. Like maybe that's what he's trying to do with his brother. So he won't be jealous of him or upset with him. And then he tells them that he wants to find favor. Right? And here it is, the word chen, that he wants to find favor in his face, in his eyes of the brother. So now we're going to read verse 6. We're going to hear verse 6, and this is Esau's reaction. So how does Esau react when the Malachim come to him with the message about his brother? So let's go to verse 6. Here we go.
וישובו המלאכים אל יעקב לאמור, באנו אל אחיך אל עשיו, וגם הולך לקראתך, 400 איש עמו.
Okay, And that said, so the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, "We came to your brother Esau, and he also is coming to meet you, and 400 men with him." Okay, 400 men with him. So obviously Esau did not react positively, right? This is not a friendly meeting, and we know that because of the way that Jacob reacts. We're going to see right now how he prepares defensively. And we also know that because if it were a friendly meeting, he would bring maybe his family and things like that. But he's coming with 400 men. Basically, he's coming with an army against his brother. So let's see how Jacob reacts. We're going to go to verse 7. And we're going to hear verse 7 and 8 together. Here we go.
וירא יעקב מאוד, ויצר לו, ויחס את העם אשר איתו, ואת הצאן ואת הבקר והגמלים, לשני מחנות. ויאמר, אם יבוא עשיו אל המחנה האחת, והיכהו, והיה המחנה הנשאר לפליטה.
Okay. Verse 7 and 8. And Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, so he divided the people that were with him and the flocks and herds and camels into 2 groups. And he said, if Esau comes to one group and attacks it, then the other group which is left shall escape. Okay. So, and here the words in Hebrew, we can look at Vayira. He feared. He was greatly feared. And then Meod, that means very, right? So like very fearful. He was very scared about his brother coming against him. And then we're going to read how he prepares in three different ways.
So Jetzer, what is Jetzer?
Distress.
Distress.
Yeah. So we're going to read about how he prepares defensively by dividing the camp. He prepares with tefillah, by praying, and he also practices some diplomacy by offering his brother gifts. So we're going to read about that, and we're going to read verse 9 through 12. So there's a big chunk, but it all goes together, so I don't want to chop it into smaller pieces. So we're going to hear verse 9 through 12 in Hebrew, and then we'll read it in the English.
ויאמר יעקב, אלוהי אבי אברהם ואלוהי אבי יצחק, אדוני האומר אלי, שוב לארצך ולמולדתך ואיטיב עמך. קטונתי מכל החסדים ומכל האמת אשר עשית את עבדך, כי במקלי עברתי את הירדן הזה, ועתה הייתי לשני מחנות. הצילני נא מיד אחי, מיד עשיו, כי ירא אנוכי אותו, פן יבוא והיכני אם על בנים. ואתה אמרת היטב איטיב עמך, ושמתי את זרעך כחול הים, אשר לא יספר מרוב.
Okay. So this is the prayer that Jacob prays when he gets the news about his brother coming against him with 400 men. He prays, and this is what he says. Verse 11, verse 9. And Jacob said, O Elohim of my father Abraham, and Elohim of my father Yitzhak, Yahweh who said to me, return to your land and to your relatives, and I do good to you. I do not deserve the least of all the kind acts and all the truth which you have shown your servant. For I passed over this Jordan with my staff, and now I have become 2 groups. Deliver me, I pray, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him, lest he come and shall smite me and the mother with the children. For you said, I shall certainly do good to you, and shall make your seed as the sand of the sea, which are too numerous to count. Okay, so let's look at his
So I see how good it is to remind Yahweh of his promises, right? Because that's not for him. He remembers perfectly well, but it's for us
Mm-hmm.
to be, in assurance. This is what he said. And that, somehow um, gives you shalom, it gives you assurance that he is going to act upon his word.
Right. Absolutely. Okay, so I just wanted to point out here in the prayer, he says katonti. That means it means small and diminished. He's saying that he felt unworthy of all the blessings, all the mercies of Yahweh. Right? So he's like overwhelmed. I become so small because I'm overwhelmed from all your blessings that you have given me. So he says, I came with nothing, right? I crossed over with a staff, and now I am two camps. So a comment that I heard on this is very nice, that we should be like believers in Yahweh should be humbled by his blessings, right? We should be humbled by when we receive blessings. We shouldn't be haughty. The person who was making this comment said when Ishmael, or the attitude of Ishmael is the one that says when they receive a blessing, oh, I'm the big person, and nobody can come against me, right? Nobody can catch me. But the person that is a true believer in Yahweh, they are humbled by the blessing. Okay.
Because at the end, we don't deserve anything.
Right.
Everything that we have, every good deed is even acts of unrighteousness. It's nothing, accounted for nothing in a way. We shouldn't say, oh, I did this, I did that. It's only by his mercies that he wants to use you as a vessel, and then you can do something for him.
Right. And then the word that was translated as deliver, so deliver me, it's actually hatzileni, and that means to snatch. So snatch me away from my brother's hand, right? Snatch me up. So I'm in a trap. Come and snatch me out of it. And and it kind of, I picture it like right at the nick of time, he comes and picks him up out of the problem. And then I think it's interesting that he says, from the yad of my brother, yad of Achi, and from the hand of Esau. He says it 2 times. He said to deliver him from the hand of my brother, deliver me from the hand of Esau. So kind of like saying, my brother is not acting like my brother, right? I think it's interesting that he says it 2 times. Okay. So we're going to go to verse 13. So we said he divided the camp, he prayed, and now he's going to offer a gift to his brother. He's going to try to find favor with him. He's going to send him a gift. So we're going to see in verse 13, 14, and 15.
Also, I see that his humanity, his human side, how he got so afraid, so disturbed by his brother sending 400 men to practically attack him, and probably that was the intention that he had. This is my time to finish him. However, Abba is so awesome that he's good to protect us from anybody and keep his word. I am not gonna end this until I do what I said what I was gonna do. Until I do what I said. So to me, that is so awesome. Rest assured that he will do whatever the work that he began in you, he will finish it on that day, perfect it on that day.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So we're going to hear verses 13 through 15. 3 verses. And again, these go together, so I don't want to split them up. So here we go, verse 13.
וילן שם בלילה ההוא, ויקח מן הבא בידו מנחה לעשיו אחיו, עזים 200 ותיישים 20, רחלים 200 ועילים 20, גמלים מיניקות ובניהם 30, פרות 40 ופרים 10, אתונות 20 ועיירים 10.
Okay. And let's see. And he spent the night there and took what came into his hand as a present for Esau his brother, 200 female goats and 20 male goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams, 30 milk camels with their colts, 40 cows and 10 bulls, 20 female donkeys and 10 foals. Okay, so just a little gift. So clearly Jacob was very, very wealthy in his animals and his stock, and he was able to give this present to his brother. So I wanted to point out the word for gift, mincha. Mincha, like a tribute, present, an offering. And I believe mincha is also the word they use for the afternoon prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and let's continue with verses 16 through 18.
Yeah, the Mincha prayer, we bring the gift of our lips to him, but also accompanied by our heart.
Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to hear 3 verses, 16 through 18, and then we'll read them in English.
וייתן ביד עבדיו עדר לבדו, ויאמר אל עבדיו, אמרו לפניי, ברווח תשימו בין עדר ובין עדר. ויצב את הראשון לאמור, כי יפגושך עשיו אחי, ושאלך לאמור, למי אתה ואנה תלך, ולמי אלה לפניך? ואמרת לעבדך ליעקב, מנחה היא שלוחה לאדוני לעשיו, והנה גם הוא אחרינו.
Okay. And he gave into the hand of his servants every drove by itself, and said to his servants, pass over before me, and put some distance between drove and drove. And he commanded the first one, saying, when Esau my brother meets you and asks you, saying, to whom do you belong, and where are you going, and whose are these in front of you? Then you shall say, they are your servant Jacob. It is a present sent to my master Esau, and see, he also is behind us. Okay. Let's see. So he's sending the present, and he's telling them exactly how he wants them to do it. He wants first one gift, and Esau was like, wow, this is, a good amount of animals. And he's talking to the servant, and then he'll look up and he'll see more animals coming towards him. So he's putting space between the flock.
No, not just that. I believe he knows his brother. He knows that he likes, to have many animals. He loves to hunt. So he's appeasing his wrath. He knows that he will accept this.
Okay. And I think that's what we're going to see in the next verses. So we're going to hear 19, 20, and 21. 3 verses again, 19, 20, and 21.
ויצב גם את השני, גם את השלישי, גם את כל ההולכים אחרי העדרים לאמור, כדבר הזה תדברו לעשיו במוצאכם אותו. ואמרתם, גם הנה עבדך יעקב אחרינו. כי אמר, אכפרה פניו במנחה ההולכת לפניי, ואחרי כן אראה פניו, אולי יישא פניי. ותעבור המנחה על פניו, והולן בלילה ההוא במחנה.
Okay. So he commanded the second and the third, and all who followed the drove, saying, Speak to Esau the same word when you find him. And you shall say, Also, look, your servant Jacob is behind us. For he said, Let me appease him with the present that goes before me, and after that see his face. He might accept me. Okay, he might accept me. So I wanted to point out here in verse 20, it says kafar. If I can do it here. Kafar. It means to cover. Expiate, I think it's the same root for kippur. So it means like I will cover, right? I will cover his anger, or I will cover the wrong that he thinks I've done to him with this gift that he's giving him. Okay, and good morning, Susan. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're gonna continue with also right here when he will lift his face. Yisa Panai, right? Lift his face, Yisa Panai, which is similar to what we say in the Aaronic blessing, that Yahweh will lift his face towards us. Okay, verse.
So it's another way to say that he will accept you.
Mm-hmm. Verse 22 to 23. In the Hebrew. Here we go.
ויקום בלילה הוא, ויקח את שתי נשיו ואת שתי שפחותיו, ואת 11 ילדיו, ויעבור את מעבר יבוק. ויקחם ויעבירם את הנחל, ויעביר את אשר לו.
Okay. And then we were reading. Okay. And the prophet passed over before him, but he himself spent the night in the camp. And he rose up that night and took his 2 wives, his 2 female servants, and his 11 sons, and passed over the ford of Yabok. And he took them and sent them over the stream, and he sent over what he had. Okay. So now he is trying to protect them, defending them, sending them over ahead of him, and he's going to stay behind. And I think he's probably in prayer. He's probably fasting. And we're going to read now, like one of the biggest parts of this story is when Jacob wrestles with a man. Okay? Let's see. So we're going to hear verses 24 through 25. If I didn't skip ahead too much, let me see.
ויוותר יעקב לבדו, ויאבק איש עמו עד עלות השחר. וירא כי לא יכול לו, ויגע בכף ירחו, ותקע כף ירך יעקב בהיאבקו עמו.
Okay. So he's wrestling. And Yaakov was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until the breaking of day. And when he saw that he did not overcome him, he touched the socket of his hip, and the socket of Yaakov's hip was dislocated, and he wrestled with him. So there's a lot of comments that this is a malak, an angel, and I think it's said in other parts of the scriptures too. And later on, we'll see in a few verses, it seems like he's an angel, but here, or a malak, here it says ish, so a man. He wrestled with a man, ish. So that's interesting. Well, I'm not sure if you guys want to comment on that in a minute, but let's go to verse 26 through 28. Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at my notes here. Okay, I wanted to comment on the word for wrestle. Here it means like to grapple. Yeah, okay, so he grappled with him. He wrestled with him. Do that again. Yakeb.
Yake,
Yavek. Yavek. Sorry,
Yavek.
I'm reading that wrong. Okay, so now we'll look at 26, 27, and 28.
ויאמר שלחני כי עלה השחר. ויאמר לא אשלחך כי אם ברכתני. ויאמר אליו מה שמך? ויאמר יעקב. ויאמר לא יעקב יאמר עוד שמך כי אם ישראל. כי שרית עם אלוהים ועם אנשים ותוכל.
So another very important part when he changes his name, right? Okay. And 26. And he said, let me go, for the day breaks. But he said, I am not letting you go until you have blessed me. So he asked him, what is your name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, your name is no longer called Jacob, but Israel, because you have striven with Elohim and with men and have overcome.
Wow.
Okay. So here they translate a little bit differently. It says, as a prince has power with Elohim and with men, but Israel, for as a prince hast thou, you have power with Elohim and with men. Okay.
So could be that at the beginning, it came in a figure of a man to wrestle with him, and then he was an angel. So he had the two tests, wrestling with a man and also within the power of an angel.
Commentators say that this man was the prince or the guardian angel of Esau. So he's wrestling with like the essence of Esau. And I kind of see this as Esau is his twin, right? So in a way, he's kind of wrestling with himself or with another side of himself. So I'm thinking maybe Jacob is kind of in himself having a struggle about whether he is a trickster. Am I Jacob? Am I a trickster? Am I, getting everything I have by deceit and by tricking people? So he's kind of having like this inward struggle with himself. And that's why the man says, what's your name? Even though he knew obviously what his name was, he asked him, what is your name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, lo. He said, no, not Jacob, but Yisrael. Okay, right? And Yisrael means, here I'll show you, he will rule as Elohim. Yisrael means he will rule as Elohim. And I also wanted to show you guys this comment, and I hope you can see it. Yes, you can. And it says, not Jacob, right? It shall no longer be said that the blessings came to you through trickery and deceit, but with nobility and openness, and ultimately the Kadosh One, blessed is He, will reveal Himself to you in Bethel and change your name. And there He will bless you, and I will be there. Okay. So I just wanted to share that comment, which I thought was good. All right, let's continue. And we do see later on in Bethel that he changes his name and tells him again it's Israel and not Yaakov. Okay, so we're going to read 29 and 30.
Also, one thing that is important to comment on is that when Abba gives you something like something that you need to do, he always reassures you with the word or a dream or another person telling you, but it's like always you receive a confirmation because it's based on the scripture that says that every matter should be in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses.
Okay. So let's continue with verse 29 and 30. Okay, in the Hebrew. Here we go.
וישאל יעקב ויאמר, הגידה נא שמך? ויאמר, למה זה תשאל לשמי? ויברך אותו שם. ויקרא יעקב שם המקום פניאל, כי ראיתי אלוהים פנים אל פנים, ותנצל נפשי.
Okay. And Jacob asked him, saying, "Please let me know your name." And he said, "Why do you ask about my name?" And he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen Elohim face to face, and my life is preserved. Okay.
I don't think the angel of Esau will bless him. We know that that's probably not accurate, you know,
That's a good
because
point.
he received a blessing right there, so it's not related to Esau.
Okay, that could be, but a malak is the messenger. If he has a duty to, it's a malak. You know, I mean, if he has a duty to bless, then he will bless. And it could be his brother, because that's what he's about to do. He's going to struggle with his brother.
Could be.
I mean, yeah, there's different ways of looking at it. But, okay, and Peniel, faith. This is the name of the place that he gave it. He gave the name Peniel. Okay, for the faith of Elohim. All right, and verse 31 and 32.
ויזרח לו השמש כאשר עבר את פנואל, והוא צולע על ירחו. על כן לא יאכלו בני ישראל את גיד הנשה, אשר על כף הירך עד היום הזה. כי נגע בכף ירך יעקב בגיד הנשה.
Okay, and the sun rose on him as he passed over Penuel, and he limped on his hip. That is why the children of Israel to this day do not eat the sinew of the hip, which is on the socket of the thigh, because he touched the socket of the thigh of Jacob in the sinew of the hip. Very interesting. All right, we were supposed to read another chapter, 33, but we're running a little bit short on time, so we'll leave it for another time. But we do have time for comment. If nobody wants to comment, if you want to add anything.
Maybe Noé or Susan. Noah. Shalom, Noah.
Shalom, shalom.
Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Do you have a comment?
I don't have a comment right now. I was listening to what you guys were saying. I never heard that commentary before about it being Esau's guardian Malak. I don't know. I was just thinking about that, about the different comments. I never heard that before. But
yeah, it could just be a malak. I mean it's definitely, I think he's struggling with him, but at the end it is something positive, right? I think it gives him confidence. So maybe it's, it does make sense how you're saying if it's not the malak of Esau.
Yeah, with and you saying that it was like him struggling with himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I never heard that before either, but that's interesting. But yeah, I was just kind of thinking about that. I don't really, I don't have any comments right now. But I was just listening what you guys were saying. Very, very interesting. Lots to think about.
Susan, do you have any comment?
No, I don't. Just listening.
Okay.
Yeah. So on Wednesday we'll continue when the brothers actually meet, right? And how Esau definitely has a change of heart, at least at this time. Barely had the change of heart. So again, one of the big chapters here, Jacob planning to meet his brother. He comes across Malachim. He's able to have them send messages for him. I think that's awesome. That's amazing. How he could ask them, oh, can you go tell my brother this message, right? I think that is amazing. And how he prepares by praying. He prepares defensively by dividing his family, right? In case one of them were in trouble, the other ones could escape. And then he has more time of praying, and he wrestles with this Malach who tells him his name is going to be changed and blesses him and gives him the confidence to go forward. I think it's interesting. Now he is limping, so we'll have to look into that. Yeah, I mean, like you're about to go face someone, and you're gonna go limping.
Another lesson that I draw from here is that he not only prayed, but he also prepared his camp.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we think that only praying it's the answer, but there is something that we might do, while we are praying.
Yeah.
So
yeah, actually, that's interesting because like the first thing he does is prepare for the worst case scenario by dividing his family, right? And then he prays. I was like, wow, that's interesting. And he also tries to be diplomatic with his brother. He's practicing diplomacy by sending him presents. I think that's everything. He prepares in different ways.
It worked.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. So we'll continue on Wednesday. And just a reminder to everybody, tomorrow for a prayer meeting, if you can't come in person, you can always call in and join us by phone or online.
I hope you can join us tomorrow. And Susan, I wanted to thank you for the internet page for Ark of the Remnant, of the Faithful Remnant. It came out really beautiful, the Hanukkah
website
part and the website. And thank you, Susan, for all the effort and the help that you offered to us. Appreciate it so much.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Love you too, sweetheart.
Have a great Monday.
You too.
A wonderful day, and be blessed and be a shining light for Yahweh everywhere you go.
Thank you. Love you guys. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Love you.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.